Welcome to the Roy Anthony and
every
Friends show.
Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is
Anthony
anybody out
show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank
and Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank
and Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick
every Tuesday.
Everything is going
every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Tuesday.
It's during the week, homie. The Roy
every
Anthony
Thursday.
Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a
tap in
before we gotta
tap
go.
in.
What you listening to? The Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Tuesday.
Come on and kick it with us. The Roy Anthony
every
Show.
Thursday.
It's going down, homeboy. The Roy Anthony Show. Co-host
tap in.
Big Hank. We getting it. What you think? Hey. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank
and Cynthia.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank
and Cynthia Joy.
What it do? What it do? What it do? This is Roy Anthony. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show podcast, along with my co-stars, Miss Cynthia Joy Towner, Mr. Big Hank Norman. Cynthia has been doing a lot of physical therapy, as you know. 10 years ago, she suffered from a stroke, and she's a survivalist of it. And she's been giving us daily details of, if you've been keeping up with the shows, she's the effort that she's been putting in to get back to the full capacity of the use of her body, and that's wonderful too. And that's why we don't. Sometimes she won't see her on the show sometimes because she's going through some deep physical therapy. Then Big Hank, he does a lot for the church and for the community, and then he'll come in and so, because a lot of times it's in the mornings, it's 10 o'clock a.m. on the Pacific coast, on the West Coast period. And then, as you know, the Roy Anthony Show, if you don't know, we represent the WO Entertainment. We consider ourselves a conversation piece because the WO was created to bring awareness to how our veterans commit suicide on a daily rate. And that's not just something we just say to the side. We really hold in our hearts to tell anyone, if you're thinking about committing suicide, think again, think 100 times again. Look at it like, I always tell people, look at it like Baby New Year from the animation movie at Christmas. Take one foot in front of the other. I was a person who was had deep thoughts of committing suicide, and it was ran like 3 weeks. It's a mental illness problem at that time. And it was like constantly ringing in my head. And one of the things I had to learn was to encourage myself. And then I found out when I have conversations with others that found out that they have the same type of problems, it started alleviating me wanting to commit suicide. And to push farther, you see me, I'm still here. These thoughts came on like between in the year 2005. It seemed like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. People I loved dearly was either died or got killed. Just personal things, and it just seemed like it piles up and there's no relief valve and stuff. But I start giving more, concentration to God. God give me strength, every single day was just a new day. And I would tell anybody this. I was taught this. Every day you get up, you got to look at it like it's the rest, the rest of your life. It's the beginning of your life. Every morning when you wake up, look at it as it's the beginning of your life. It's a new life. I've even had people who've been in relationships. There was this older guy. I was talking to him. His wife had been married for 40 something years. And I asked him, how did he do it? And he said, every day he looked at his wife as if he had just met her. And each day he treated her like it was, on that first date, you trying to please and everything. And so sometimes we take advantage of waking up the next day, but each day, every time you wake up, that's the beginning of your life. And so the WO, which was created by some veterans and one of the head producers, Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, that's his stand-up comedic name, along with the co-creator Goose, and then our associate producer Blue Phoenix, Ethan Daly, and then we have our good neighbors, the BB Nation, which is backwoods veterans based out of Oregon. You can watch a lot of stuff. If you ever see BB Nation, they do a lot of shows, and we want to give kudos to them. Got much love for them. I plan on being in Oregon July the 7th, because my man Carl Loomis is getting married, which he just has sent me a comment. He said, what's up, brother? I'm way up north today, over by the coast of Washington, up around Hoodsport, Washington. Okay, he's up there by that big old mountain out there, Mount Olympus, I think that is, over there in Washington. But we want to give them a shout out. Much kudos to Carl and his beautiful fiance, might as well say his wife, Caitlin. I've been seeing that she's been putting his name up too, Caitlin Loomis. This sounds right. Then we got the Long Beach All Stars, which is Long Beach, Compton, Watts, and Watts and Linwood. That's what I was missing. These brothers, veterans, now veterans, and they're constantly creating. You'll see major rock groups, rap groups, everything. Oh, he said he changed the date. The date is July the 24th now. Okay, glad I didn't get my ticket. I would have had to change it up, and they was one. Okay, July the 24th. This was all right. Change it up on my calendar. Carl and Caitlin are getting married, and I'm so I'm happy. I used to think it was crazy, when my partners was getting married. It seemed, it's like what, like it was a sad thing, because the good times was being single, but eventually that comes down. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, see, he was about to mess everything up. He said, wait, it's the 14th. Laugh out loud. Okay, so we know it's July the 14th, y'all. And so, good thing he's out there in Washington, because I think Caitlin's going to give him some earful. He said, I'll call you later and tell you. Okay. And so, but we know it's somewhere in July. And stuff. He's gonna get it down right, though. We want to look. Well, I'm looking forward to that. And matter of fact, with me, I've been getting asked to do a lot of comedy, and God has been blessing me. As y'all know, we found out we had major blessings sitting on our computers of all the shows that we have been filming. So I'm gonna be giving an announcement here pretty soon. Now, I want everybody knows that the WO platform itself will be shutting down in November of this year, November 2024. The Roy Anthony show, which we run 12 weeks, we was coming up to, I think it's week after next, we'll be ending the 9th season. And so we're in talks with Richie and the team if we was gonna come do a few more weeks, or we might just be ending our show. And I'm getting a lot of different people asking us about picking our show up, and I just said let me think about it, because there's so much that I'm doing now in Hollywood. We have a sitcom we're working on, we have a couple of movie features, and along with the stand-up comedy show, and we've gotten really busy. but I'm a loyal person. And as you know, we have over 280 episodes of the Roy Anthony Show podcast with me and Big Hank and Miss Cynthia Joy. Cynthia Joy is not on all the 280s. She was one of our newest co-hosts, co-stars. We had other people that came in, learned some. Some of them branched off, did their own podcast, which I'm proud of that. Glad to see that happening. And so we'll be giving you updates. I know this evening WO is going to be doing a sports talk, which is basically our show, the conversation this week. Like today's show is called The Agony of Defeat, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And we're going to go into that. But I also want to give a shout out to all of the WO family and then our own personal family, friends, associates, and those who don't like us. But like I said, I'm proud of Carl and Caitlin. I think the way I've heard is that people has been expecting them to get married for a minute. Sometimes you have people that they live together, they operate as a married couple. It's just that they haven't had it in legal aspects. Now, I was talking with an elderly guy. Sometimes I like talking with older people because they have history. And one of the things that I've learned in this society is really nothing's new under the sun. It's different faces, it's advanced levels, but it's some of the same scenarios. And it used to be a time where people were live together, and say if they move to another state or something and start going to church, people never questioned were they legally married. It was never paper or anything, or somebody might keep it in their family notes. It used to be where somebody, they would have what they called, in especially in the black culture, they called it jumping the broom. I'm gonna be with you, you be with me, and in front of witnesses, hey, we love each other, we married. And they say, all right, jump the broom. And so I don't know where jumping the broom I don't know where jumping the broom came in. And just like there's a lot of things like when superstitious. I did find out about why they would say broken mirrors. Broken mirrors was something that slave masters created because mirrors was very rare to obtain. And so when they had the house servants cleaning the house to prevent them from breaking the mirror, they was put up, oh, you're gonna have 7 years of bad luck. Now, if the person who is owning you, I think you would take that to facts, that because they can put that 7 years of pressure of bad luck on you, right? And so as y'all know, I was talking about my Clippers so much Tuesday, and well, they lost. They lost by 3 points. A loss is a loss. Whether they lost by 3 or they lost by 20. So the series is even 1-1. And my Clippers now have to go to Dallas Friday night and try to retake home field advantage, which is it's the best out of 7 series. The first one with 4 victories wins the series, of course. So we're trying to get that one more down there in Dallas and then put the pressure back on them. I would prefer that they went on and just beat them the next 3 games and get some rest for the second series, because this NBA playoffs is intense. Out of all the years that I've been an NBA fan, ever since a little kid, I've never seen a playoff series, an NBA playoff series, as intense as it is. Even from the play-in to get into the playoffs, it's been intense. Every team is vibing to try to be the one, and is equal. These are all professionals, and you have 16 teams going hard in the paint at each other, and it makes it good. I was some teams I don't watch, but in this playoffs, there is every point counts. There's no let in fresh legs, But something I was noticing now, as you notice, I called the show "Victory." It's the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Now, my label underneath my name shows victory is a thrill, defeat is agony. Now, when I was a kid, they used to have wide the wide world of sports. I don't know if anybody remember those, and they always showed this guy who's skiing down the hill crashing, and they would always have the video showing it while the commentator saying in the agony of defeat. It, you mean the agony of hurt and wonder if he's going to. You remember when he was a kid in ABC had the wide world of sports, and sometimes we didn't even watch the sports. We just wanted, me and my brother, we always see the opening, and every time we seen that guy crashing from skis, that one, just that alone made me not want to ski. I'll be honest. ABC didn't do no justice. We probably had more blacks skiing if ABC hadn't been playing that. Because as a kid, I know I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I'm never skiing. That dude's a professional. And if he's, he goes over the fence, crash, and look like he can't stop. He just boop, 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 boop. And I'm like, oh, no, I can't do that. But, sometimes I'm laughing because I never see, like I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the sports. I love football. I love basketball. I love boxing. I watch baseballs when it's playoffs. I watch soccer, probably the last part when it's a championship game or something like that. I can't keep up with United Manhattan, the England series and all that. It seemed like they have 3 championships in 6 months. I can't keep up with it. But I do like stories of where someone's an underdog and then they make it into a sport or getting paid, just like us as stand-up comedians. A lot of people knows the Cat Williams and the Steve Harveys and stuff, but not knowing that there's a million stand-up comedians out there. And just to have your name getting in some type of announcement or anything, that's an accomplishment for real, for real. One time I had a family member told me back in 2006, she said, well, I thought you'd been unmade it by now. And I thought about it. Like, what does she mean by made it? My name, to my understanding, is in the top 100 comics in the nation. To me, and that was at the time I felt like, I made it. Now, there's levels. There's paid levels. To my understanding, I think Kevin Hart is the highest paid stand-up comedian. I don't try to be like Kevin Hart. I'm not even, if they pay me in what Roy Anthony's worth and what I'm doing. The Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, you name some of the top comics that we see on TV, but doesn't mean that there's comics, just because you don't see them on TV or you may not know them, that doesn't mean that they didn't make it. At least they're in an arena where other people knows, other comics know who you are. And like I tell other comics, people who's new, we got comics who's trying out and stuff like that. Just be you. Don't try to be no one else. I can only be Roy Anthony. And the way I do my materials, I'm gonna tell you a story before I go into my sports. The style of comedy that I do, it fits me because it's me. I twist up a story, make reality mixed with fantasy, improving on certain subjects. And there's a certain joke that I'm always requested to do, especially from the brothers in the hoods. It's the one called the horseback riding joke. And so a comic who was in Phoenix was, I guess, trying to do my material. And now, when I got the message about it on the crowd's reaction and somebody yelled out, hey, that's Roy Anthony's material. And the people started booing, the comic got off, whatever. And, it got back to me. And I felt bad for the comic But I felt also glad that people recognized that that was my materials that they was using, and that that they didn't let that get across. Somebody yelled out, that's Roy Anthony material. I like that. I felt bad for the comic who tried to use my materials in that. I'm not saying that you couldn't. If it works for you, go ahead. I feel like, I'm a comedy writer as well. But when somebody yells out, that's Roy Anthony's materials, I'm like, oh, I appreciate that, because that's putting a face to the name of that materials that I wrote, right? But back to these sports, I'm a big fan, but some fans it's just crazy with it. Now, one of the things I haven't noticed or never seen, I don't know if it's not happening or whatever, but I've never seen a fan run in an NBA game. Now, you have fans sitting right at the court, and I've never seen a fan run onto the court and stop playing. Now, I have seen it in football, baseball, and soccer. And what gets me, especially on professional football and professional baseball, it seems like that fence is almost 10 feet high. And yet people jump out. Like, let me show you this one. Oh, he outrunning everybody. But look at the little girl. The little girl tackled him. He was outrunning everybody. Now, I don't even understand what a person is thinking when you run out on the field. You're going to jail for one. Now, to me, every person who runs out on the field or something, you got to be the dumbest criminal. Now, I can understand, because some people say, oh, well, this was one guy, I'm going to show a video where he was protesting. But you got to be the dumbest criminal to run out onto a field. I'm just going to be honest with you. One of my friends, he passed a couple of years ago, but we went to a pro game, and he was, drinking and everything. And Darren is like, I jump out there on the field. So he jumped off the wall, but he didn't run in the field. But the security came up on him, and he said that he said, I don't know what I was thinking. So they told him, he said, if you don't want to go to jail, you better get back up on that wall. The wall 10 feet high. And of course, we trying to reach down there and pick him up. I wasn't going to jump down there and try to help him up, because I ain't going to jail too. And so for something that silly, but we're trying to pull him up, but he's just too heavy and he ain't trying to help. So they took him on off the exit. Of course, he got cited. He didn't go to jail though. They gave him a cite because he did admit he didn't run out on the field, but he jumped down from the wall. And they told him, you better get up on that wall. And he was trying. People was laughing. They just like, hey, you know what? Just walk with us. And they gave him a citation. But unlike this guy, check this out.
This one fan was too fast for the security, because this one crazy fan decided to jump on the field during a baseball game so he could meet his favorite players. But after the fan made his way onto the field, the security ran out to tackle the fan, but the fan was too quick and he actually outran the entire security team, then made his way off the field completely untouched. this ball boy got humbled real quick. Because while this ball boy was retrieving tennis balls at a tennis match, things got a bit too fast for the kid and the ball boy actually slammed into a wall. This student got expelled for his presentation in class because this one student thought it would be a good idea to do a school presentation on Johnny Sins. So when the student went up to present, everyone just started laughing. But the teacher was completely clueless and thought the student was doing a presentation on an ordinary guy. This teacher made his students very uncomfortable because while this class was taking a test, their teacher thought it would be funny to start working out in front of the classroom. But all the students just thought it was weird and everyone actually failed the test.
Okay, on the other parts, I don't know, but it's amazing to me how now that guy outran the security and then ran on off the field. Now, I hope that he ran straight to his car. There's no point that you think you're gonna just go back to your seat and say, yeah, y'all see that? Y'all see me run up that field? The best thing he could do is just keep running. Keep running, do like Bo Jackson. Run through the stadium, keep running to your car, don't stop. And so now I've even, in today's world, I look at sports, like I said, it's an escape, as I don't put my life into the sports. I'm a fan of the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm a fan of the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm a fan of the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Kansas City Royals. Believe that, I got love for them. Hey, Starlet, she said, hey, beautiful people, you got jokes, laugh out loud. Yeah, because especially, see, when you're a fan, it can get exciting, but we got to still be able to compose ourselves. I've seen fans get so angry. I've seen fans who's for the opposing teams, but they're at the same stadium and they get into a fight. It was just reported the other day that Nikola Jokic, that's the center for the Denver Nuggets. He has like 2 or 3 brothers, and one of his brothers ran up to another fan and punched him. And it's being investigated. Now, no one has said anything, but the Denver police said that they want to pull up the films. Nobody didn't report it. Oh, well, let it go, But whatever he said to that make Joker's brother, I think that's uncool because it's one person's opinion. Now, I know you love your brother, but you can't knock another fan of what they got to say about him. Like myself. Now, I'm a Raiders fan, and there's nothing that I could say about Patrick Mahomes. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want him, like when our team played them, I want them to be fully healthy. I don't want someone to hurt Mahomes or Kelsey and them. I want to beat them fairly. Remember the 2 ladies, the gymnastic ladies? I forget the lady's name, so I'm not going to say, but she hit the other lady in the knee with a bat because she like, I can't beat you in these flips, so I'm gonna hit you in your knee so I can win the gold. And I want to beat you fairly. But people's opinions is theirs. I don't wish no. Now, I did talk about Kelsey's brother when he was at the Chiefs game and his shirt is off, acting like a crazed fan, picking up other people's kids. I didn't like that. And I didn't like that nobody condoned that. For real. Let it be me out there, shirt off, drinking beer, hey, picking up other people's kids, yeah, with my bare chest. You tell me what society is going to say, and that's where I don't like biases. I don't like, oh, it's good for them. Okay, because like the media, we say the media lies, but the media is ran by mostly white guys, white people. White people runs the media, and they condone or whatever, but they no one condones Kelsey's behavior at his brother's Philadelphia game with him being a crazed fan. Just like the women's NCAA championship, I keep seeing commercials, especially by State Farm, about Caitlin. Um, 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 Nothing against her. I'm saying Miss Clark. It's nothing against the lady. I like her accomplishments, but I also like Miss Dawn Staley's accomplishment of being a coach who won 3 championships as a coach and 2 championships as a student athlete. But you don't say anything about that. And it seems like sometimes it makes it seem like it's kind of lopsided. Now, I can say when I'm around some of my peers, they like, oh, see, they always whitewashing something. But sometimes it's just plain obvious. Mrs. Clark is a very good basketball player, but she did not win the championship 2 years in a row. She can shoot, she can score for real. Just like in that NBA All-Star game, the guard Stephon Curry played against the one of the white sister from the WNBA, and they had a 3-point shooting contest. She was fluent. She was killing it. He just outdid her. But that range of that hoop and stuff, that ball and everything, is, it's an accomplishment. But when we focus on this person's accomplishment, but you overlooking the grand accomplishment, State Farm is looking at one individual's accomplishment compared to a person who brought a university accomplishment. I ain't seen nothing about Miss Dawn Staley. Why? But come the Olympics, we want all the top athletes. Just like I don't want, to me personally, I don't think, that any black student should go play at any university in Florida. I really do. Because you want to put up that we don't exist and our achievements don't mean nothing or whatever. Well, we ain't worried about Florida University, ATL, Miami, none of that then. If you don't want to respect me, what I'm supposed to be, a horse? My kids is a horse. We can't be looked at equally. It's always focused on you ain't this or that, but you can play the basketball. That's what the one lady told LeBron James. Shut up and dribble. Who is you to, what I'm saying? That's like somebody telling you, won't you go work in the kitchen and have babies? Go cook some food and have babies. Women would not like that. You ever notice that when people get an inch, next thing you know, they want the foot. Then if you give them the foot, then they want the mile. You got to treat others the way you want to be treated. I'm pretty sure there's no women out there in the professional world wants a man to tell them, why don't you shut up and go cook some food and have a baby? Well, ma'am, you can't tell you gonna tell LeBron James, won't you shut up and just dribble? What are you? Who is you? Why would you say that? Just like I don't bash gay people. I don't bash the homosexual community. To this day, I have a problem of not a problem, but I don't have what letters, the LPQTUVWXYZ. I don't know because I'm not part of that community. I do know that they are Americans and I'm about humanity. So I don't mind saying, hey, what your sexual preferences, you. I don't bash the gay people. So when they have their pride weekends and pride, I don't involve myself, but I don't go out of my way to condemn them or criticize them. I don't go to be a party pooper because I don't go to their party. But yet, it was about 3 years ago, a heterosexual guy he came up with doing what he called a straight day. You know, it was for those who doesn't involve in homosexuality. It was a straight day instead of they having a pride day like for gay people or homosexuals or how you want to say it. They had a day for straight people. Well, it was ugly because there was over 34 arrests of gay people attacking them. Now, so me and my friends, we was having this conversation the other day. And please get this understanding. Just because they gay doesn't mean that they don't fight, that they're weak. I've been finding that some of the gay community is some dangerous cats and stuff. It's none of my business, you know, because if I have to fight, I'm gonna fight hard, whether you gay or straight. I don't see if you gay or straight. Now I know something be up if you hit me like this. You stop you instead of putting them up. I might have a concern like I don't know how to fight someone like that. And I'm not gonna be we both hitting each other like this. Stop it, you stop it. I can't. I'm gonna walk away from that. I'll probably say, hey man, you won, go ahead, you know, for real, because I'm not gonna fight like that. Just like these guys who's cutting their nuts off, and now you want to compete with the women. That's not right, because they used to call them eunuchs, that when they got castrated, they blew up and seemed to got stronger. Because now your blood don't go into an extra shaft. You know, you got it takes some strength to lift that Johnson up, right? But yet we sit up here, hey Jeremy, he said present. Hey, for real, got you, man. Not dead yet. That part. Each day we go one day at a time. One day at a time. One of the things that I don't like is when I've been having a problem with is the guys who's been getting their testicles removed and then want to compete with the women. For one, I think there needs to be a time span. You don't like the guy, this male swimmer. You competed against the men, found out you wasn't winning. You get your nuts cut off, then you competing against the women the next year. Now you win it. Well, I think it needs to be a time situation. You know, you just don't compete with the women that quick. I think you need to have a 5-year run as a woman. I'm laughing because I don't believe I'm giving out the scientific theories. Because me, myself, I think you should go through a Frankenstein type situation where they got to put electrical probes in and weaken up your body mass, your muscle mass. Just because your balls got removed doesn't make your chest weak or your forearms weak and stuff. You just don't have your nuts no more. You know? And then here it is. Like, I don't bash Caitlyn Jenner. I don't bash her, you know. Starlet said, oh, laugh out loud, you have a way of speaking truth and using your humor to make us people really think, though. Laugh out loud. You know, I'm just being honest. I don't bash gay people because what you do in your home is you. I'm a heterosexual, but I don't walk around trying to do the dog position and everything. It doesn't make a difference. I do have a problem with those who is removing their nuts and then want to compete against women. I have a problem with that because that part is not cool at all. Here, one of my stars just came in. What's up with you, Big Hank? How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm good, Roy Anthony. What's happening, baby?
Oh man, I can't complain at all, man. I was,
Yeah.
how's like I was just saying. I know you was doing something for the church or the community. He
Oh,
always
yeah.
is, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, just had to get the church ready, you know.
Yeah,
This like Thursday, I'm usually my longer day because I got to vacuum and do some other
oh
stuff
yeah,
and mop and all that. So yeah, it's just my
and he
long day.
does that, y'all. He does that. I've been there. I
Yeah.
even asked him he wants some help. He like he look at me like what? Yeah, I got this, and it's immaculate. Man,
It's my thing.
that floor
Yeah.
looks better than the White House floor. They need to call Big Hank because everything is shining. There ain't no stains or nothing on the
Yes, sir.
wall.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, always good to see you.
Starlet, what's up,
Yeah.
Starlet?
So we was just talking about because I've been showing bloopers. I admit my Clippers lost
Who?
Tuesday.
Okay.
My Clippers lost Tuesday, and you know who I was hearing from, y'all. Of course, let me know. But we got the game Friday. But I
You
was
don't got
talking
you don't
about
got no video. You don't got no video. You ain't got
no,
no
I didn't.
video. 3 or 4 videos on it.
No, I did not. I
How?
didn't put none. I've been having videos of bloopers and people running out, but no, I said this time I'm not going to make myself because I felt bad.
But
I felt bad that they lost, but I do understand it's a 7-game series and everything can turn around. And it's only 1-1. So I said, I probably made them lose because of my build-up. So I said, let me humble myself back again and take my wins.
No. You didn't make nobody lose. And how come you give them grace when they lose 1-2? But when we lost, it was all man. I don't like the way LeBron was talking about the referee. I don't like how you was talking about that. But when y'all lose, we got to understand it's only a 7-game series, and we'll do okay. We're gonna be all right. All right. Okay. I'm just saying how it go when y'all lose. You don't be no great. There's no grace when the Lakers lose. When y'all lose, man, I'm the one made them lose. I was rooting too hard for them. I made them lose. Stop this nigga. Nigga said I was rooting too hard for him. I was not rooting so hard for him.
I am rooting for the Lakers to win tonight. I'm gonna be honest. I said I am rooting for the Lakers to win this evening. But I was talking about Big Hank on this too, bro.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I was getting into about Caitlyn Jenner because
I
don't like it when it's biased. I was mentioning where the one white lady reporter told LeBron James, "Won't you just shut up and dribble?" And I said that's so offensive because us men you don't tell no women nowadays. Why don't you shut up, go in that kitchen, cook some food, and have babies? We call that being chauvinistic.
Mm-hmm.
But then I brought up the example about when they had pride parades, we don't go bashing them or going attacking them. Mm-hmm. But when the guy put up a straight day, he was having where all heterosexuals come out. It was 34 arrests of gay people coming there bashing it and attacking people.
Oh,
wow. So I was just getting on Caitlyn Jenner because Caitlyn Jenner, I don't bash him. I do tease about his nuts being removed and he wanted to have his nuts back. But what I don't like is when you said about O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna tell anybody, O.J. Simpson showed me what true injustice is because they found him innocent in regular court, but in civil court, these people are still trying to take more money from him after he's died from the estate.
Yeah, for something he didn't do.
He didn't do. And look here, y'all, I rode that rope where he was supposed to kill that lady and then try to get home through LA traffic. It is 2 fucking far away. There's no way that a person can kill somebody the way he did, supposed to have done, and then drive to his home from that within 15 minutes. There is no way. But when it comes to, sometimes I'm just going to be this. I ain't saying all my white neighbors like this, but there's a bias sometimes when it comes to blacks than when it comes to whites. Now,
hey, in the O.J. Simpson, before you go any further on the O.J. Simpson case, did you know that Nicole Simpson had a guy that worked for her that was a serial killer? He worked for her he was a gardener or something. He was a gardener or something, and they found him. He had like, I want to say 5 or 6 murders, but they never brought that up, not one time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a trip, homie. He the one. I really believe that's where it come from. He the one that did it. He know how to do it.
Yeah,
he know how to do it, and whoever did that knew what they was doing.
And it had to be more than one. The guy Goldman was a 3rd-degree black belt, and he had stab wounds in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And they found muffle prints where someone's holding him, so he can only push hands, and they trying to stab. One man cannot do that, and especially OJ being as arthritic as he was, cannot beat no 3rd-degree black belt dude. And why couldn't he run away? Why couldn't he have ran away? But what got me is that trial overshadowed the terrorist situation that occurred. Now, a lot of people don't understand. We took our whole mindset to say, once again, it was like an Emmett Till situation. That black man killed that beautiful white woman. But they didn't really show the news about when McVeigh and them took a U-Haul moving truck and filled it up with manure and everything and created a bomb that killed 54 people, 12 kids in the nursing care at the Murray Federal Building in Oklahoma. Wait a minute. O.J. Simpson case overthrew all of that. This is a terrorist bomb blown up at the federal building, and 54 people was killed. But that was quiet. We seen when McVeigh got hurt. You know, Jeremy said, "Danger, your common sense is showing." See, it becomes bias. It becomes real bias, and so then we accept it. It seems like blacks are very forgiving. We're very forgiving because we go through the same thing. Now, insanity, I say that a lot of us, we are insane because we do the same things over and over and expecting different results. Why is they still talking about reparation? Do somebody feel bad about it or whatever? Because reparations was brought up since the day Abraham Lincoln got murdered. If they had murdered the president, you know what they're going to do to one of us. They didn't marry Jesus until he got to mess with that money. That's why they said the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
Jeremy said, you starting to see through the Mandela effect.
Mandela.
You know, South Africa is a big thing because if you watch the movie Master of the Game, if you read the book is really tight. James Patterson know what he's talking about and all. Look, South Africa, relevant to them diamonds. They were finding diamonds this big on the ocean shore. And so then it became let's take over this little piece of country here, and this can enrich the whole world. So this man protested. They threw him in a prison for 20-something years. Never told him what crime he did.
Yeah.
He comes out to be the president. But to my understanding, nothing really changed except we get along with each other better, but you still don't run these diamonds. we get along and stuff, but you ain't getting these diamonds. Jeremy said, follow the paperwork, connect the dots, see the entire picture. And we do, Jeremy, I'm gonna be honest with you. We know that we're on a podcast and there's certain things because we just, I try to stay away from theories, which is an unproven fact. Sometimes but what I didn't like about Caitlyn Jenner, because you could have been scrutinized because you was a national hero for sports, that you got your nuts cut off. And now you having a hard time walking in heels. But when OJ died, it's what he said. Good riddance.
Wow. With his toes hanging over the front of his shoes.
Well, you feel me? Hanging all over there like fillers.
Yeah. Like some antlers, nigga. Like you got antlers for feet.
We can say you disgusting to us men.
Yeah.
But we don't bash you like that, sir. And if you passed away, we ain't gonna say good riddance.
No, we're not gonna say that.
We're not gonna say that.
No, we're not gonna say that.
But of all the things, you feel me?
Yeah.
And so I look at the differences. Starlet said, oh, jokes today, yes. Because gotta go deep, because I showed a couple already.
All right.
I have never seen a black person run out on the field for a football game, soccer. They do football, soccer, and baseball, run out there. Because to me, you're the dumbest criminal, because you are going to jail. You get fined with embarrassment, like this one right here. Now, check this.
Somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat and a red shirt.
The
now he takes off the shirt.
Is
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs at the 50. He runs at the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms, bare-chested. Somebody stop
Look
that
out,
man.
here comes the blue coat,
Oh,
Kevin.
they got him.
Here
They're
comes
coming
the
from
blue
the
coats.
left. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line. I hope it was worth it, my friend, because you've got a night in the clink coming up. Oh, that was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.
I tell you what, that was a great call on your part.
They made a commentating over. Now, it was actually a film, but they try to keep it off. Don't encourage people, but constantly do it. And now, one of the things got me. Big Hank, what's the best way to protest, sir?
I'm not a big protester, but it's to be civil and non-violent protest.
I think the same way. I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now, I want to hold us, if we was to hold a census of what is, okay, which one would you think is civil? Taking a knee, protesting through the national anthem, or running out onto a football game with pink spray running everywhere?
Taking a knee.
That would be the most common. You would think that's the most peaceful one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Protester that ran on the field during the Rams game is suing Bobby Wagner for tackling him. This is just about the most 2022 thing of all time. A protester ran on the field when the 49ers were facing off against the Rams, carrying a smoke flare with pink smoke coming out of it, and was being chased by security and got dropped by Bobby Wagner. And Bobby Wagner was asked about it and gave the reason why he tackled his fan. You never know what that person got in their pocket, their hands, whatever. whatever, there's consequences for your actions, which I agree with. But this protester is suing Bobby Wagner for tackling him for running on the field during a live game. And they're calling it a blatant assault. And here's what Bobby Wagner has to say about the lawsuit.
I mean, I was aware. Everybody kind of told me, but it is what it is. I don't really. It's behind me. Ain't really focused on it.
I honestly have no words about this. You gotta be kidding me.
Now, for one, we don't know if that pink spray would have been acid or some type of terrible gas. For the life of me, I want people to explain to me what's a peaceful protest and why is that this guy can push out a lawsuit saying that he got tackled by Bobby Wagner on running on their job turf, which Bobby Wagner shouldn't have tackled the man, let the security do it. But I don't know what type of gas that he's letting out. I ain't never seen no pink spray. And that's a good point, Starlet. What about citizen arrest? You think yes. Because you don't know what he got. He's spraying this stuff. What you protesting? It's pink. You look like you're a little Gandhi. You know, you definitely wasn't bringing awareness to breast cancer because their colors is pink. Mm-hmm. What and my thing is, Big Hank, what I'm trying to figure out how in the world you're protesting by spraying the chemical in the air while guys gotta open up their mouths and run. You know, when you running and physical and stuff like that, you sometimes have your mouth open and all that. Why they ain't filing a harmful suit against them? That's why I keep saying this kind of bias on certain things. Mm-hmm. Bobby Wagner probably say, well, that was the Joker from Batman putting all that stuff on. I was mentioning Jokers. His brother punched another fan after the game. He ran up to the guy. Now, I don't understand why the Denver police is looking for him because nobody filed anything, dude. Nobody said nothing. So now they trying to get people like, hey, did you two men fought. He got hit, stole on. He didn't say nothing. He took home and say, hey, Joker's brother hit me in the face. You know, I just
What Joker? Oh, the one to play for
Denver.
Dallas?
Denver.
Oh, Denver?
Yeah, Nuclear Jokic. I think they call him the Joker.
Nikola Jokic.
The second game with the Lakers, I guess
he got a couple big brothers. They some big boys too.
Yeah. Well, somebody who's a fan of the Lakers must have been saying something and stuff. And so when the game, I guess they was because the Lakers was winning by 20 or whatever, and the guy is like, yeah. And next thing you know, at the end of the game, it's like Joe's like, now what you saying? He's like, oh man, shut up. Nobody can think about it. He ran up and stole on the man. You know, she said class action lawsuits needs to be filed on protesters. Well, it depends on how you protest. That guy said he was protesting. He didn't show no, I ain't protesting for this and that. He just ran with a pink spray. And they saying, oh, he's a protester. You know, I want to show just one more here. This one.
When you're winning and you yell and stomp.
This guy acted as he was a referee. Watch this.
When you're winning, they say he's a fiery competitor.
Now the team starts fighting.
Players who are mixing it up, and this has a potential to get ugly. Some players are on the field fighting, and the benches are emptying. Mayhem is broken out here at the end of the first.
See, this dude dressed up as he blew the whistle.
Got the ball. He blew the whistle. Yeah, give me the ball. Give me the ball. They were like, here, ref, shit. Here, man. That nigga took the ball and took off.
That's only in a Benny Hill, Dick Van Dyke show or something, right? Then the whole team, they mad, like you brought him on. He came from your side. They ain't our people. That's your people.
y'all sent the fake referee in here to try to win the game, man. Y'all motherfucker.
Blew the whistle. And then everybody fighting. But you know what? I love that. If we're going to debate about anything, let it be sports. And we can, I've sat with brothers and who is the best here, who did this, who did that. But what I'm thankful for is that I'm thankful for the players, and people always wish for people's safety. I just don't get into fanatics and stuff. God gets the praise for everything I do. If I'm watching, that's a sense, seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, feeling, those are senses, and you can lose your senses, which is only given by God. I've been working on a new comedy joke called They Lost Their Sensitivity. Men wonder why. That's what happened with Mr. Jenner, Mrs. Jenner, Mr./Miss Jenner. He didn't get his nuts cut off to be a homosexual, a woman to be with a man. He wanted to be a lesbian, and he was doing the scissoring with another woman, and this woman was coming, and he wasn't feeling nothing for it. He went to the doctor to say that, hey, I don't have no feelings. I need my stuff back. I need my nuts back. Nice show, handsome man. I'm out. Hey, God bless you. We praying for you. She said she was she's been going to rehab to better herself. Had not going to diagnose, but she's been wanting to better herself. Voluntarily went in to get some help and stuff. And I can do nothing but applaud that for you.
Yeah. God be with you. God be with you, Star. Yeah.
But Mr. Jenner, what I want to say to you, and you lost your sensitivity, and he couldn't get his nuts back. Now you are just being honorary. You don't have no sensitivity. You don't have no feelings no more. Hey man, before we get out of here, man, this hour went quick. Give me your last words, Big Hank. What you feel?
Roy Anthony, man, the great Roy Anthony, man. It's great to be on the show, man. I love you, man, and keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Hey, before we go, how did the 420 show go?
Wasn't able to make it. I had to go to Pennsylvania.
Okay. All right.
And that didn't really go well. It's neither. I was kind of upset. I was taking care of some major business, these engineers. But I'm trying to let you know that engineering for me is my part-time. My full-time is stand-up comedy and entertainment. And it's starting to get a little headachy and stuff. You promise one amount and all this stuff, signing, and next you know it's just a meet and greet.
Yeah.
But God gets the glory and stuff, period. But what was you gonna say, bro? Your ending words. Where'd he go? He got off? Well, if he was on, he'd be saying, what a man soweth, what a man reapeth, that's what you're gonna sow. Always look at it that God is looking at you every time, every day, every minute of the day, every second. And if you think he ain't looking at you, he is. Me, I just want to let you know is God is closer to you than your own mouth. All you have to do is say, God, I'm here. Forgive me of my sins coming to my life. It's just that easy. And with that being said, I'm Roy Anthony. It was Big Hank, Miss Cynthia Joy is still going through therapy. This has been the WO Entertainment. God bless everybody. We're out.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in. Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Roy Anthony.